Jeff Bezos once heard this sentence: Jeff, you have enough ideas to destroy your company. And this is the one sentence that actually changed how Amazon scaled and now what we see today. In the next few minutes, I will show you how to turn overloading ideas into a growth system that allows your brand, team, and storefront to grow into 100 million, maybe a big business. But before that, before I move forward, let's just watch this video together.
Put me in front of a whiteboard and I can come up with 100 ideas in half an hour. And early in Amazon's history, Jeff Wilke came to me one day. He worked for Amazon for a quarter of a century, but this is when he probably knew me only for a year. And he said, Jeff, you have enough ideas to destroy Amazon. And this was such a shocking idea for me. As a founder, I had the great luxury of always being able to hire my tutors. They would hire these experienced senior executives, brilliant people like Diego and Jeff Wilke, and there were several others too. And I would listen to them, and they would teach me. And Jeff said, you have enough ideas per minute, per day, per week to destroy Amazon. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you have to release the work at the right rate that the organization can accept it. And he was a manufacturing expert. And so, his view of the world was every time I released an idea, I was creating a backlog, a queue, work in process. And because it was just stacking up, it was adding no value. And in fact, it was creating distraction. And so he said, look, you have to figure out when to release these new ideas at a rate that the organization can accept them. And this sounds so obvious, but it was not obvious at the time to me. And this was a profound insight for me. And so I started prioritizing the ideas better, keeping lists of them, keeping them to myself until the organization was ready for the ideas.
This one interview of Jeff Bezos actually told me how Amazon in the early days looked like. So what happens is most of the founders, actually see the companies, when they are scaled, and, they try to copy the ideas in a way that, that will mimic a real company. But what you should actually see is how a company looked like in its early days. I will come to this video later in another video, but let's just continue with this one. So after this video, I sat with my team and we made sure that we are up to this point where are we releasing the work in a way that is actually acceptable by the organization. So the thing is, the first thing is you have to basically offload everything right there in front of you and see there are no distractions. And then you have to prioritize in a particular way that will show you how your organization is going. So let me come to my story. So what happened before my Ben Genius is there were a lot of ideas, a lot of ambition, everything was there. But the thing is, the planning was not there. The backlog was there, yeah, but everything was in process, just like, Jeff Bezos said. So what I learned here is that it does not matter how many ideas you have. It matters if you are releasing in a particular way that can be, that can result in something. So we sat down, we saw what we are doing, and then we actually started learning how to prioritize. You see, this is one very simple thing. Anybody can say, Waqar, this is just obvious thing. But this obvious and simple thing is ignored by 95% of the founders I see out there. And exactly this is the one thing that I'm here to address in the next few minutes. So after experiencing potential failure in few of my endeavors, I learned to slow down, to release ideas one at a time, and then everything changed. You see, it's mostly about the caliber of those decisions, your priorities, and then the results, show themselves. At My Brand Genius, this same rhythm has helped 3 brands for us to cross 7 figures in last 24 months, and this was huge for us. And this was achieved not by doing more, but by doing the right thing in the right priority. The real problem is most Amazon founders don't fail because their products are bad. I have said this over and over again. They fail because they keep acting on every idea comes to their mind. For example, new SQ, let's just launch it. They just wake up, with the burst of energy, and they want to execute that thing right away. New ad type, they just jump in. You see, this is different than that. You don't have to be perfectionist. Yes, you don't have to be perfectionist, but there should be some, for organizations, there should be some planning behind it, some priority behind it, and then the actual thing works. This is the exact reason you see founders, working for years and years and, looking for success. But what happens in the end is they don't get the success for a very, very long time. I see people getting stuck for, for years. Even I have seen some people stuck, getting stuck for a decade or more. And this is painful because if you apply just this one system that, Jeff Bezos himself, the boss, has explained in this video, if you prioritize correct, no matter how many ideas you have, you will get the results out of it. And then after this thought, I started questioning, why do people just keep burning for years and years without any success and, call it hustling? Let's see. So any new design ideas, they try to just push it live. Again, no harm in doing that, but there should be priority. They should know that what's happening. Let me give an example. So I was working with the 1.2 million a year brand, and everything was good. We put them in the right direction. We put the revenue per month basically in 3 to 4 months, but they were consistently complaining about the profits. So when I sat with them on on the financial drill basically, so what we found out that they were sending everything through air, where they could have planned better to send everything by ship. And that same drill basically showed them how they can increase their profits by 26%, right? So this was very alarming for me, and I started questioning that a business that has already crossed $1 million, how it can be like that. They have not seen that. But the business is there, it's okay, we can backtrack to that, but we could have saved a lot of time and pain if we could just prioritize that in a very efficient way. And this video is exactly telling you how to do that. And then every new idea is a great idea. It just piles more work on your operations, ad spend, and rest of the team. And then you end up with half-cooked results, and then you just say that it does not work. You see, it works, but it works in a specific formula that we are going to talk about. Okay, so let's see this thing in a particular way. Call yourself a builder, and you have a lot of bricks. Having bricks, ideas, this does not mean that you just put them in a pile and the building will be there. It has to be in some specific formula. For example, if you are building a room or a building or a tower, any example that clicks with you, the ideas, the bricks are there, and you have to put them in the right position, right direction, with right precision, with right tools, the cement, I don't know what the other tools are. And then you have to apply that in a specific way. If you just talk to people in construction, they will tell you how they basically manage the project. The thing is, the most of the founders, especially the new founders, they miss that point where they have to learn how to make those bricks work for you. And this simple thing, this is very simple, but again, 95% don't follow it. And we are exactly targeting this here, that this one simple thing, if understood by majority of the founders, they can save a lot of time. So basically the shift is that ideas are brick. Every idea is a brick. Bricks build towers only when placed in particular order. So basically, product, advertisement, branding, operations, you can add more ideas, whatever you have currently. You can comment in the app, comment the ideas, whatever is going on in your mind currently. Store them, then build when the foundation, your listings, your cash flow, your systems are ready. So since 2025 is ending, watching this 3-minute interview of Jeff Bezos, what I did was I simply sat with my team and I gave them almost 2 months to list down everything, right? So first of all, I think that any idea that is just lingering around your mind and you're not executing it or eradicating it from your mind is just an energy leak. So what we did is we took 2 months, me and my team, and we wrote down everything one by one over 7 to 8 weeks, and then we set the time that this is by December, by mid-December, we're going to discuss everything and prioritize in a particular way that will basically move our agency in the right direction. Let me give you another variation example of that. For each project we work on, we lay out the priority in a very particular way. We don't rush into ideas, we don't rush into results, we don't rush into just taking money out of the founder, but we prioritize in a way that will give the long term and actual results. And we have made it work over and over and over again. So the more I try it, the more I see that this one simple thing ignored by most of the people, it works every time. So what happens after that? What happens when you start prioritizing? You must have seen a lot of videos on how the flow works. Everybody's talking about flow, but have you seen the flow or momentum in the business? Yes, I bet you have seen, but if you see it very closely, you will see a structured approach, a very prioritized approach where everything is going brick by brick, and then the results will actually come out of it in that particular fashion. So I want to just add it here that vision is not a one-time thing. Your vision creates a lot of ideas. You must have a lot of ideas that go into it, but if the vision is not applied in a particular way, that will not benefit anyone in the company. So we gain flow out of it. Once you organize ideas, chaos tunes into the rhythm. How beautiful is that? Your PPC has direction, your creatives align with data, your launches stop overlapping. That's when your brand hits flow. Every campaign, every listing, every dollar compounding in the same direction. You see, this one unified approach will change you and your business forever, and you will never be able to come back, because this is the same thing that I have experienced in the recent past. So what happens after that? So let's build out a simple plan for you. Let's say you will bring out one major initiative per quarter. That's it. You are starting out your business. You have plans to launch 5 or 6 or 7 listings. There's no harm in testing a lot of products at once if you have the system. But if you don't have that caliber and system, you should start a little bit smaller than that. I'm not saying that you should just start with the half of the thing. Yes, it should be a unit. It should be something that is workable. But you have to take bigger initiatives one by one, because once you get one idea on the paper, you will see that there's a flow down there of tasks, and you have to do every task with precision in order to say that this one idea has paid off, right? What it could be. So Q1 could be optimize ad structure in a very particular way that will make it scalable and long term. Q2 could be launch new variations, right? Since you have ad structures in place, it will be very easy to launch new variations and then scale them in a very particular way. And then rebuild branding. One of the most important parts, but if you don't have something to sell, branding won't work. I see, talking about perfectionism, I see a lot of founders basically stressing out on how the branding would look like. Yes, you should plan about that, but there are some things that come before that. You have to make some product that will give you the kind of return that you are seeking. And then Q3 could be rebuild your branding, and then Q4 could be if you want to expand to other marketplaces, Walmart. If you want to expand your Amazon account to Europe, I don't know, it could be anything. So you have to sit with your backlog once in a while. I would say I sit once in a month with my backlog and see what I can prioritize, what I need to put there more, and what I need to delay in order to achieve whatever results I want to achieve. So this explains that the vision isn't fixed. It evolves with data. But you have to keep pushing the vision that it should come on that. And then you have to make a list of things, that non-negotiable things that you have to do in order to, get the result out of it. So what happens after that? The flow is there, we have applied the simple plan. If this one simple thing is being applied very precisely with patience, what you will get out of is momentum. I have said this over and over again in my videos and my posts and everything. I like momentum more than the revenue, because if the momentum is not right, revenue won't really help you, because anyways it's going down. But if the momentum is right, and even if you're at $1, that momentum will push you to $2 and then $10 and maybe $1 million, the dream. So this rhythm has rebuilt momentum for brands spending 100K on month, 100K a month on ads, with returns up to 390% return on ad spends. These are the real results that we have seen over and over again if we just get the gist out of the real momentum out of that. Because scaling isn't about adding more bricks, it's about laying the right ones in the right particular order. So we have established that by touching a flow, by applying simple ideas, we will get momentum out of it, and momentum is more sacred than the revenue itself. What you need to understand is comparing yourself to the companies that are already there is not the right approach. Comparing yourself to their early days, when they have done the unstructured work over and over again and then structure it in a way that actually gave them results. It is everything for agency. Every company you see out there, it is like that. I have seen brilliant Amazon founders burn out from chasing, 10 launches at once, 20 launches at once. And if that's you, you're not broken. You're just ahead of your systems. You need to align yourself with systems in a way that will push you in the right momentum, push you in the right direction. So this video might be not for everyone, and if this message hits home, you're exactly the kind of founder that I want to grow with. Just comment anything that you like this about video, don't like about this video, and just send just comment bricks down there, and I will send you a framework that I use with my team in order to get the results and push the agency in the right way. Basically push the Amazon accounts in the right way. Thank you so much.